She did. All right. It is 5 p.m. and I'm so sorry. I just lost my train of thought. This is Distinctive Delphine in Montrose, Colorado, here today with Todd Conklin, our fearless leader at Coldwell Banker Distinctive Properties. How are you doing, Todd?
I'm doing great.
Great. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? Because I know you, but not many of our listeners do. So why don't you tell me a little bit about yourself and what you do?
You bet. Yeah. And first, like we need, if we're going to do this at 5 o'clock on Friday, we need to be calling it like distinct drinks with distinctive Delphine or something.
Oh, triple D.
Right? Yeah. So my name's Todd Conklin. Obviously, I'm the CEO of Coldwell Banker Distinctive Properties. We also have Coldwell Banker Commercial Prime Properties, and then in Twin Falls, we've got Coldwell Banker Canyon Side, and I'm also the owner of Corner Office Coaching.
Fantastic. And tell me a little bit about the crisis that is happening. But first and foremost, I know that you're a great head coach and a great leader because I am fortunate enough to be part of your team. But how have you been leading your team through everything that we've been going through over the last 4 weeks, including all the roller coasters? So tell me a little bit more about how you handle that.
It's been crazy. For sure. And I think one of the interesting things is that there's no playbook. We've never been in anything like this before. I would say that the playbook is just crisis. There's always something going on. And I think the question really comes down to making sure that our actions and what we're doing are in alignment with what we believe our organizations stand for. So in our case, it's all about serving first and changing lives. So it's something you'll hear a lot if you spend any time with any of our agents or staff. And so as we entered into this uncharted waters, we made sure that we were really focused on identifying the pain points that our clients were experiencing or facing, and then addressing them and serving them. I think that's no different, like whether it's real estate or whether it's a real estate owner or whether it be a real estate professional or the restaurants or any business that provides a product or service. We're all really doing the same thing during crisis, and that is trying to find areas that we can serve our communities.
Right. I really do think that the focus, though, on education is big for me to be able to know that I'm the best at what I do and I know everything about real estate is huge. So I think that all the education videos that you're making and all the investment that you put to find the right people to help your team, and that you're opening it up to everyone who wants to be able to come in on those trainings and just really change lives, because I will tell you, you changed mine for sure. Over the last 4 weeks, I might have an overload a little bit, even like it's
right.
so much information, but I am so grateful for it because, I could have easily think, oh my gosh, what did I get myself into? What am I doing? And your leadership and all this education piece for me was key and crucial. And I've learned so much over the last 4 weeks. And I really wanted to thank you for that. So I think that's amazing as a leader that you were able to really not only look at your team, but look beyond and help everyone that you can. So thank you for that.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate that. There's this saying, and I know you've heard me say this before, but it probably bears repeating. And I really believe it. No matter what, we're always in the same storm. Everybody, all of us right now, we are experiencing exactly the same storm. But unfortunately, we are not all in the same boat. And what I mean by that is when things were great, which by the way, that was only 30 days ago, right? Or 40 days ago, whatever it was. When things were great, you could have been on a paddleboard. You just didn't need much. Everything was so smooth and the waters were calm and beautiful. And then all of a sudden the waves picked up and then they became tidal waves. And this crisis is for real. And suddenly, boy, you wished you had a battleship. And I think it was really a focus of ours to help every single person that would listen. And we know, right, there's 3 different kinds of people. They're the people that watch what happens. They're the people that make things happen. And they're the people that say, what the heck just happened, right? Anybody that would actually listen to us and in all these guest speakers and educational opportunities to help them build a better, bigger, stronger boat. And it's been a pleasure to do that.
That's amazing. It's amazing. And I really think that the industry, not only real estate, but the world is going to come out so much stronger. And talking about that, what do you think the real estate industry is going to do moving forward? Because I feel like we can't just go back to business as usual. It's just not going to be the same. Virtual open houses are so successful, so many views. I feel like our industry, more than anything, will really be impacted and come out even stronger from this. So how do you perceive the real estate industry moving forward? Because Monday is an exciting day. Even though we still have processes and we're cautious, we can start showing homes again. So we're all pretty excited. Tell me, where do you see us even just next week?
Yeah, that's a really great question, because you're right. While things are going, quote unquote, back to normal, normal is going to be very different. And frankly, I don't know about you, but like, there are parts of what was normal that I don't want to go back to. Number one, I didn't enjoy them. I don't think they served the client. A lot of things that we were doing as real estate professionals or just business operators, we were doing because they were things that we'd always done before. And sometimes that's really hard to change away from. And this crisis has forced each and every one of us to identify better ways of doing our job to better serve our clients. And in this case, serving our clients had so many more implications. We went from trying to get the most money for a seller, get them the most money for their property in the shortest period of time, right? Mm-hmm. Well, then all of a sudden it was, whoa, wait a minute. Now we've got to worry about their health. We have to worry about their safety. And negotiations took on a whole different meaning, and protecting, like literally protecting our clients. Yeah. It was awesome. And I think the market, the real estate market in general, the industry in general, it will forever be changed as a result of this in a way that it's never been changed before, maybe since 1906, right? Like San Francisco fires is when really all of this began to change, where there was a code of ethics and we were there to for fiduciary duties and that kind of thing. That's a long time ago, right? And here we are now. I don't know about you, but if I'm a seller, the agent, the professional that I choose, it's not based on who's going to give me the cheapest commission. It's going to be based on somebody who can understand the power of technology to expose my property, somebody who understands data that can expose my property to the right people, not just the most people, somebody who understands messaging and how it really does matter, somebody who understands how to show a property utilizing technology. I mean, as you just alluded to, we're doing open houses right now where we get over 2,000-3,000 people looking at it. Well, we used to do open houses. We'd put some signs out. We'd send out some mailers. We'd put it in the newspaper. We'd post on social media. We'd do everything we possibly could. There's like 27 different things you do, and you'd get 20 or 30 people through. Well, we just follow basically the same thing, leveraging technology, and we get thousands, and they didn't step foot in somebody's house. So the seller didn't have to deal with the wear and tear and the traffic. The seller didn't need to worry about getting the property set up. The agent didn't need to worry about all these other things. And what we do is we eliminate now all of the, maybe call them looky-loos, if you will. If I'm a seller, I'm never going back to the old way. Like, it's never going to happen. I'm going to find the right agent, the one that can understand technology, that can really expose my property. And then, of course, the 3D technology is another thing. We'd been using it for a long period of time, but we were, frankly, struggling to have sellers and buyers engage with the technology the way it really intended to.
Yeah.
Not anymore. Now we're literally doing showings of property using a 3D home tour, where people are looking at 20 properties where we used to have them in the car and we take them out. They're looking at 20 properties, whittling it down to their top 5, and then we're showing them those properties. Who knew?
Yeah. And what I love in all this process too is the collaboration between all of your agents within your offices. I find this very compelling because you don't see that everywhere in real estate. And so how do you keep it that positive with your team? Because you really focus on inspiring and being positive. So help me understand a little bit more. And I have to mention Sharon, because by the way, she's amazing. And it's so great and so fun to watch her videos. Sharon is Todd's wife, if nobody knows, but it's really been helping and inspiring for me to know that I'm not the only one who struggles with my children who want to kill each other in the background. Yeah.
So just so she doesn't kill both of us, it's Shannon. But yes, it's okay. We got it all worked out. But yes, you're right. She's amazing, and she's very vulnerable and open and honest, and it's a breath of fresh air for sure. I think that culture is something that gets talked about a lot. I love there's a guy that owns Bulletproof Coffee. His name's Dave Osprey, and he does this talk on entrepreneurship versus wantrpreneurship. And an entrepreneur is somebody who identifies a need, develops a product and service, creates an organization that serves that need, and they call them an entrepreneur, right? They are fixing and providing a great deal of value. A wantrepreneur comes into that space and says, that company does these things. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a knockoff, and then I'm going to tell everybody that it's the same or even better. And then I'm going to tell them I'm going to charge less, I'm going to get more. And then I'm going to sell them the product, and then I'm going to deliver less. I'm going to basically mess up the industry, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they are both talking about culture. One of them is developing it and committed to it. And I think for our organization, we've always believed that culture started with me, but that has long since left the barn. As an individual, we're 300 plus or minus people. We'll do $1 billion in sales. We're talking about 3,000 plus transactions. We're 13 offices, 3 states. Like, you can't rely on an individual to create culture. Once you got to that size, what you do is you hire the right people. You hire the Delphines of the world, and you task them with not fitting your culture, but furthering your culture. And that, frankly, Delphine, is one of those things that that's how you change lives. Like, that's how you serve communities. That's how you change the world.
Yep, agree. 1% at a time.
Yeah, 1% at a time.
Yep, I absolutely agree. So tell me, we're coming kind of at the end of this, and I would love for you to tell me what else you want us to know.
In the midst of the coronavirus and everything, I would say this, stop watching television.
Yeah.
There's a fella named Steve Harney. He's a great economist in the real estate space, an economic aggregator, if you will. He says something I just love, and he says, hey, listen, deliver the facts and then trust their intelligence. And what he's talking about is us, talking about real estate agents. He's talking about the consumer. There's a lot of folks out there that want the market to struggle. They want the government to fail. They want the economies to remain shut down. There's a hidden agenda. So here's what I would say. There are people right now buying and selling real estate at a very high volume. Just in the last 48 hours, we've closed 30 transactions, just to give you an example. Overall, year to date, we are still up over last year, despite the fact that we have been in coronavirus land for 37 days now. So the market is very strong, and there are people that still need and want to sell. There are people that still need and want to buy. And if you fall into that category, then you should do that. You should hire a professional that is properly equipped to handle, whether it be safety or technology, et cetera. If not, and you don't need to sell, and you want to wait until things sort of get back to quote unquote normal, whatever that looks like, you should be reaching out to the proper professional. You should be developing a strategy and plan right now, because once everybody realizes that oh my gosh, the news is not telling me the truth, there really is a lot of business out there, there's going to be a lot of sellers that are going to enter the market, and you don't want to be caught late behind the wave. You want to catch that set. So
for sure. Well, thank you. That's very valuable information. I really appreciate that share. Well, thank you so much for your time today. I do think that maybe we should do wine 5 p.m. That sounds really good to me.
Right? Exactly. I love it.
I love it. Well, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate everything that you've shared with us today. And for everyone out there, next week around noon, just follow my page and you'll know exactly what kind of training Todd is offering. And it's not just for real estate, it's really for every business out there who just wants to better themselves. So thanks so much, Todd, and have a great weekend.
Well, thank you, Delphine. And just one last thing, what you're doing and the content you're sharing and that you care for your community, it's amazing. So please keep doing what you're doing. It really makes a difference.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Have a great weekend. Thanks, Todd.
All right. Thanks.